Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Fall 2020 edition of the Black Book Thought Leader Speaker Series. Today, we will explore India's senior living market with one of the category creators, Ms. Tara Singh Bachani, who is the Executive Chairman of Antara Senior Living. Tara's aim is to give a new dimension to senior living in India. She is the non-executive director on the board of Max India Limited and also oversees business initiatives at the Max Group. Now, Tara is a 2020 member of Young Global Leaders, a part of the World Economic Forum, and was featured in the Fortune 40 and the 40 list in 2019. Tara, welcome to the Black Book Thought Leader Speaker Series.
So when we actually started Antara, it was because of the intention of wanting to be a service and a product provider for this demography. And we chose to start in one product category, which is what you defined as what we've started in Dehradun as a residential community. And that really, as you said, originated from somebody who was in the service department business in China. And she said she wanted to sort of enhance that experience into the senior living category. And I sort of said, hey, we have the same demographic trends and patterns. We will by 2025 have over 200 million people over the age of 60. Why is no one in India thinking about addressing the needs of this entire population in an organized, professional, non-fragmented way? And at that point, we decided that the best way could be to create a community where every element of wellness could be targeted. So, emotional, physical, medical, occupational, spiritual. Is there a way for us to create a lifestyle where every part of the product and service delivery can be executed by us? And that was the inspiration for the first community in Dehradun, which is more. Firstly, our product and service speaks for itself, where that differentiation between traditionally what you called an old age home and what we represent today is very, very obvious. Two, we actually talk to the end user ourselves. So there is really no notion or question of sending your parents anywhere. Your parents are independent, both financially, emotionally, and intellectually, to take that decision for themselves. So while the secondary audience is part of our conversation, we actually talk to the end user for the residential vertical. I'm not talking about the three new verticals for a minute. And three, the in country is changing, just like so many other things about India are changing. This is also something that is changing. People are aspirational of a better quality of life. People are seeing the struggles of living by themselves as they get older in urban India. Health needs, we're living longer, but we're living worse quality lives, and therefore people want to be able to live better life. They don't necessarily want to live longer, but they want to live a good quality life. So it's all about communication, it's about positioning, and it's about really expressing your intention and showcasing what you have created. Uh, when we put our concept together, we actually broke down what quality of life could possibly mean to an individual who is aging. And we actually developed a parameters which sort of broke it down into 40. Now, everyone can define it differently, but for us at that point, we broke it into 14 different parameters. And we then said, how are our products and services catering to each one of these parameters? Some in obviously higher intensity, some in medium intensity, some in lower intensity. But can I stand up 2 years later and say, yes, those 14 parameters that I created, which are quality of life, have I done something, provided something that actually has impacted or tweaked or changed or enhanced one of those 14 things? So that for us means lifestyle. It is not the fanciful nature of lifestyle where the word is used very loosely today. It actually boils down to some amount of deep thinking about quality of life for us. So if I again go back to our four verticals, and I'll just remind everyone who's watching, we have the residences for seniors vertical, we have care homes, care at home, and the Medcare products. So the residences vertical, the revenue model is what you were just referring to, Rahul, as outright purchase. And then there is a monthly fee for all of the services that we provide. And over and above that, you then have an a la carte pay as you use option, but there is a basic monthly fee, which we actually stand by. We call it the Antara comprehensive benefit, because the way and what we have built into that monthly fee is again unique to the demographics and the population that live in our residences. So the revenue model there is you purchase an apartment and you pay the monthly fee. And then we also, in the Dehradun community, had a small marketing fee when we resold your apartment for any reason. So those are essentially the three inflows that could come in. In the care homes model, because the assets are rented, anybody who comes in uses those services, whether for short term, mid term, or long term needs. That is a monthly pay per use model. It is not a purchase model. And then the care at home is obviously a pay per use. So if you have a physiotherapy, you pay for that. You have a full time nursing support from us, you pay for that, etc. And then the Medcare product, of course, is simply a transaction. You buy a product, you pay for that product. So I would say all sorts of revenue models for the different verticals. Need it. So I think the challenges is the propensity to pay. I think that is a big operational challenge for us. But other than that, I think we will over time continue to build the skill set. And as we expand, we will have to do more training, more learning and development of human resources, because nobody comes from this background and this industry. And so the people and the skilling bit is going to become a challenge for us as we operationalize all of these verticals. So I think that India is not ready for the lease model, at least in this age group. I think a younger population is changing that very quickly. They're much, because of affordability as well, a younger demographic finds the rental model much more palatable. But the older, slightly affluent, HNI customer, which is what we are targeting for the residences vertical, because that is the level of service and products we have, is not comfortable with the lease model. They still want to own the asset, because when we launched the lease model in Dehradun, it was because we could therefore control the resale of that unit and the quality, therefore, of the people living in that community. Because in India, if I sell you something, Rahul, and even if you have a contract with me that you will resell it only through me, you can bypass me because the law will be in your favor. So the lease model was created to say, listen, let us please ensure that as we keep reselling, we continue to protect the quality of the resident and the age group of the community living here. But it was been very, very challenging. There's a very small set of people that understand that and appreciate it and know that their finances are as protected as it would be in a freehold. So I think we are still 10, 15 years away from this demography understanding the value of lease, and from people understanding that, maybe real estate and locking your money into brick and mortar is not the best investment. So, so there are no building guidelines, there are no land guidelines for our products. So we definitely need to continue to push the government to say that look at the way international policy has been made on land costs, on the architecture and design guidelines. Two, when it comes to the care home model, there is no category that I can sit in, because I'm not a nursing home, because I don't do, any levels of surgeries or intervention. And I'm not a primary care center because I have people living here. So in Haryana, I have to talk to the town planner to say, this is my product, how can you fit me in? In Noida, there's a separate conversation. In Delhi, there's a separate conversation. And I'm sure every city I roll out in the next 2 years will have a different conversation. So how am I to provide you that neighborhood concept if there is no clear category to say I can be in this location? Two, just simply think that GST, Rahul, there's no waiver for GST or lower GST amounts for seniors when they're availing services. And how is that fair when you know for a fact that their income levels are very different at a different age group? There are no health insurance policies that take you to long term care. Today, we have a lack of hospital beds, we have a lack of residential facilities, we have a lack of care homes, which means people have to be taken care of in their homes. Insurance doesn't cover that care. You mentioned to me your aunt has a full-time nurse at home. Insurance will not cover that cost. So there is no long-term product. So in these three buckets, we are completely unsupported in finding the hardware to house our services in, whether residences or care home, taxation and just income protection, and the fact that there are no long-term insurance products that covers you for care at home or general care, because your healthcare spend as you get older is is more on the care, less on intervention. You're not having multiple surgeries at 80, or you need the nursing, the GDA, the physician care. No insurance product covers it. People had experienced what it was to live in mediocre surroundings or a mediocre home where they had not thought about life if they could not leave their four walls. And that actually encouraged them to think of a better life that they wanted as they were getting older. And we all know that the older you were, the harder you were hit, because you had less ability to create outlets for your mental and physical health. And therefore the mindset of people was that, listen, if this will happen again, and this is to happen again, where do I want to be living, who do I want to be living with, and what kind of service and care do I want? And I think that has really helped push the envelope on Noida sales. The care home model has struggled a little bit, because the whole premise of that model is you move in there when you are either recovering from something after a hospital, or you need full-time long-term care for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. But in a COVID situation, everybody wants to stay home. They don't want to take that risk of change. Noida will only get ready 3 years later. So today you can make the investment and move in a few years later. So the care home traction obviously was a little bit difficult for us, but the care at home picked up. Because we launched a COVID plan. We said we could, remote monitor you. We would send you all of your medicines, your oximeter, your oxygen tanks if you need it, and we'll take care of your care over video calls, phone calls, and if really need be, physically send in somebody with a PPE suit as well. So that was a very positive movement for us, where care at home became the modus operandi. So every vertical has seen a different set of positive and negatives, but I think what's been a big shift has been the whole conversation and dialogue around mental health. And one of the largest communities that will get affected with situations like this in terms of mental health are people who are aging. And so hopefully it'll wake everybody up to take this entire population more seriously.
On that note of enticing food, we'll bring this interaction to a close. Tara, this was fascinating insight from you about the senior living sector in the country. We do understand that it is a sector that's transforming. Antara, of course, is an early entrant, and it's wonderful to see that you're molding the sector and you're setting new benchmarks. So, final word with you, Antara. I'll let you have the final word.
Thank you for having me, Rahul, and thank you for everybody to tuning in and asking the questions. And like I said, I think life has to be about feeling passionate about something, and I wish that for everybody, that they wake up in the morning and feel driven to do anything that comes from within. So with that, thank you, and I hope everybody will stay safe, and take care of themselves and their community.